what we are going to learn in this lecture? What is the concept of correlation, meaning of positive and negative correlation, and to find values of correlation using different methods. In our daily life, we hear that as the recession came, Sensex came down, or due to increasing prices of sugar, its demand falls. Why all this happens? Due to a change in one thing, the other thing reacts positively or negatively. This is what we will study in correlation. Here comes the concept of correlation. When two variables are so related that a change in one is accompanied by a change in the other, the variables are said to be correlated. But there are two types of correlation. First is positive correlation. It means when an increase in one variable leads to an increase in the other and vice versa. Say for example, if price rise, the demand will also rise. It means they have positive correlation. Second is negative correlation. When an increase in one variable leads to a decrease in the other and vice versa. Say for example, when the price rise, its demand falls due to law of demand, but here they are negatively correlated with each other. Now, methods to determine correlation. Our first method to determine correlation is scatter diagram. It is a graphic device for finding correlation. Normally, one variable, mainly an independent variable or time, is plotted on the horizontal axis, and the other variable or one to be predicted is shown on the vertical axis. Then the movements of the pairs of these variables shown by dots on the graph reveal whether they move in the same or opposite direction. But this method only gives us a rough idea. This method doesn't tell the exact value of the correlation between the variables. So, the second method came, that is Karl-Pearson's product correlation. It is denoted by the symbol small r and calculated by the formula r is equal to covariance of xy divided by SD of x into SD of y, where what is this covariance of I? It is calculated by the formula sigma x minus x bar into y minus y bar upon n. And what is this SDX? It is calculated by formula under root of sigma x minus x square divided by n. And similarly, SD of y is calculated by under root of sigma y minus y bar whole square upon n. And there is another formula for calculating Karl-Pearson's correlation, that is small r is equal to n sigma xy minus sigma x into sigma y upon under root of n sigma x square minus sigma x whole square into under root of n sigma y square minus sigma y whole square. You must be confused from this formula, but as you will practice, you will easily remember this formula. Now, let's do a question for Karl-Pearson's coefficient of correlation. Here is the data given. There are many values of x and y, and you have to find Karl-Pearson's coefficient of correlation. Let's do it. First is x values are given. So, as per the formula, you have to find its sum in the end. Then, the y values will be written and you will calculate its sum. Then, as per the formula, we have to calculate xy. So, you will multiply each value of x by each value of y and you will get xy. Say for example, 10 into 12 you will get 120, 25 into 22 you will get 550, then 13 into 16 you will get 208 and so on. And at the end you will do its sum. Now you have to find the value of x square. Say for example, 10 whole square is equal to 100, 25 whole square is equal to 625, 13 whole square is equal to 169 and so on. and at the end you will do its sum, that is 3734. Similarly, you will also calculate y square. So 12 whole square comes to 144, 22 whole square comes to 484, 16 whole square comes to 256, and similarly you will find the other square of values of y, and at the end you will do its sum, that comes to 3440. Now if you remember the formula, that was r is equal to n sigma xy minus sigma x into sigma y upon under root of n sigma x square minus sigma x whole square into under root of n sigma y square minus sigma y whole square. So now you will put the values of sigma x y, sigma x, sigma y, sigma x whole square, sigma y whole square, and when solving this you will get r is equal to 0.574. It means x and y values have this much of correlation between them. Third is Spearman's rank correlation. When this formula is to be used, in order to calculate relations between items which are incapable of quantitative measurements such as honesty, character, morality, etc., we use Spearman's rank correlation coefficient. So when this formula is to be used, when we have values whose measurements cannot be done, its formula is r is equal to 1 minus 6 sigma d square upon n into n square minus 1, where what is this d? D is the difference of corresponding ranks. As we just discussed that Spearman's rank correlation is to be used when we have to find relation between items whose quantitative measurement cannot be done. So we give ranking concept here, and D is the difference of rank between them. And what is N? N is total number of observations. Let's do a question for practice. The marks obtained by students in physics and mathematics are as follows. Marks in physics and marks in mathematics are given, and you have to find the correlation between them using Spearman's rank correlation. Now, what will you do? First, you will write the values of x, that is marks in physics, and second you will write the values of y, that is marks in mathematics. Now, if you recall the formula, you have to find D, that is difference of ranks. So first we will give ranking to x and y values. First we will give ranks for x, and we say it as R1. As in your daily routine, when will you give first rank? When you give highest marks, you will give first rank to it. So highest marks in x is 47, so you will give first rank to it. Then second highest marks are 43, so you will give second rank to it. Then third highest marks are 35, so you will give third rank to it, and so on. Similarly, you will give ranking in y, and you will say it as R2. Here highest marks are 49, so you will give first rank for it. Then second highest marks are in 45, so you will give second rank to it, and so on. Now you will find the difference between these two ranks. As 3 minus 5 comes to minus 2, then 5 minus 3 comes 2, then 1 minus 2 comes to minus 1, and so on. But in formula you have to find the value of d square. So now let's find d square. Minus 2 whole square 4, then 2 square 4, then minus 1 square 1, then 0 square 0, and so on. And at the end you will find its sum, that comes to 12. Now the formula is r is equal to 1 minus 6 sigma d square upon n into n square minus 1. Now putting the values of d square and n and solving it, you will get your r as 0.9. Now another important thing to be noted here is that the value of r, that is correlation coefficient, always varies from -1 to +1. So if your r comes greater than 1 or less than -1, it means you have done some mistake in your calculation. Now you must try all questions of correlation given in exercise of your study material and ask query if any.